Before we're born, do we look down and somehow choose our family? Who knows? But no matter who we are, no matter what we do, once we're born, family is our path. A family is full of friends, foes, bruises, blessings, often all at once. To wrestle with its feelings is to enter the ring. For better or worse, as a family, we're bound to each other, whether it be through presence or absence. I was afraid to be that attached to someone until I kissed Marcy. Crawling under. There's someone new staying with the Davis family. Her canopy of crystal. She's come from Holland to make her debut album on my record label. Her music is powerful and challenging. It's about the crucible of family. When she was younger, Jasmine's mother took her own life. Every movement. And through art, Jasmine faces that painful past and shapes it into a better future.
I fell in love with Jasmine the moment I met her, and then through our time together, many people, the school counselor had talked to me, and that my co-facilitator had talked to me about Jasmine's family and the trauma that her family has gone through. We're going to see what Jasmine minds sharing, not sharing, but Jasmine's mom killed herself, and when she was about 12. Just as a mom, to be around this vibrant, beautiful, amazing girl, my heart was like, oh, how does one heal from that, and how do you smile again, and how do you open your arms to life again? And this Jasmine is one of those people who, she's an Epicurean, she's a thespian, she's so curious and so alive. And I said to my husband, I'm like, you need to listen to this young girl's music. And he was like, no, I'm not listening. And I was like, oh, come on.
See, me and my mom had to make him realize how talented she was by making him listen to her music.
So he finally listened, and he was like, she's amazing. And I'm like, I told you she was amazing.
And my dad is just like, I think this girl is going to be good for the world. And we're all just like, yeah, we think so too.
And just one thing led to another. And he's like, I think we should help her make an album.
Girls, are you excited to meet Jasmine? Jazz! Oh, Jazz!
Hello, beautiful.
Welcome!
Let me through!
She is! America! Fuck yeah!
You know this.
It's cool because you're right in front of Colorado.
Oh.
Yeah. Jasmine already has over 1 million views on YouTube. She was on a show in Holland called The Voice, very popular. She was singing other people's songs, though, which I feel is kind of a heinous travesty, considering what a brilliant songwriter she is. People should be covering her songs, in my opinion. But we're making her debut album full of her original music that will set things right. Our plan hinges on her getting a visa in the U.S. for exceptional talent in the arts. Very difficult to get, but I feel strongly she qualifies, although I'm not the government official that grants or declines those visas. So, cross your fingers.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Uh-oh, here we go again. I'm spinning round in the same old
Don't do that.
Успокой меня глазами, успокои меня душой.
And I hear like those drums, like fucking big, the fat low drums, the bass drum, maybe like a timpani played by hand, and then with the beat. Just a little more, because it's way outside the beat all the time right now. And so it doesn't feel like you're landing in the track so much as it is like you're sort of a balloon with the air let out of it flying all over.
Ouch.
Isn't the phrase egomaniac redundant? I've been in show business for 30 years. 3 decades of, look at me, watch this. Show business. It shortens your lifespan while making you feel immortal. All artists have a shaman up their butt somewhere, and probably vice versa. Artists are not supposed to be normal, well-behaved, or conventional. Your job is making something from nothing. Because let's face it, we artists are basically spending our lives in an enchanted fairy ring. Sometimes you can forget you're supposed to serve love. So the mystery sends emissaries as daughters, wives, and friends. And they remind me, you've wandered off the path, buddy. Get your ass back on track. Looks good.
Jesus fucking Christ! You cannot do that! That's not...
What you doing, Jazz?
Jesus fucking Christ! Jesus fucking Christ! Stop! Ah! You're a douchebag! Why would you continuously do that?
Buy these. It's taking up most of my kitchen area. I need help to clear it out. They're available on Stuart's website. Cheap. Buy 2. Talking about crazy things that Stuart gets me into. The visa process was certainly one of them. I think we had no clue what it was going to take. So we decided to ask a lawyer to get an immigration lawyer to get their opinion. There's plenty of immigrants in this country. They got here somehow. It can't be that difficult. It turns out it is. We eventually got to just shy of 100 pages, which was kind of amazing. And it was a lot of long hours of putting together lots of stuff. And so now we're waiting for the response to that. Jasmine has a lot to offer the world, and this is, we feel, we can help her offer that, and she needs the resources that are available to her here in the US to be able to do that. And so we went to that effort to, try and share that with everyone, and it will be very frustrating if we don't get the visa at this point.
Do some music to the signing of the contract.
Can you play and sign at the same time?
Jazzy gonna sign. She gonna be a big fucking star. Oh!
Yay!
Yay!
Your turn, Stuart. Start at the beginning.
It's gonna sign a contract.
He could never look back.
Hopefully Stuart doesn't screw Jasmine over.
He better not screw it.
Jasmine didn't really take the contract to a lawyer as she was supposed to. Well, Jesus, somebody's an overachiever. Look at that. His signature is like, mine's like this, and he's just, whoa.
Group hug. It's done.
Group hug! It is done!
Yay!
Contracts are fun when contracts are
Let
done.
me get up. Okay. Wait, let me get up. I didn't expect us to have selected these songs for the record at all, because I was very scared of recording songs about that were family orientated. I struggled with the idea of what my family would think in terms of, you know, because we've been through a lot of shit together, my family, and it's not something we like to talk about openly. So for me to write music about it and decide to go record a fucking album professing all this shit, that's a bit of a big deal. And I don't think my family knows that there are so many family songs in this. I am putting myself in a very vulnerable position here because these songs aren't just songs, they're very close to me.
First home I knew was your womb. The second was in your arms. Absence still weighs heavy, and I'm choking on all the air left in this empty room. I'm a fool to long for your warmth when you're long gone. There's not a single song I could write that would bring you back. Don't be mistaken, I'm not motherless, but I'm homeless. I'm reaching out for a home.
Yeah, I'm not after a pop song, I'm just after emotion.
Yeah, there you go. And with
So-
emotion doesn't come
But
pop.
that means, in my opinion, try it both ways
Yeah.
and compare. And if the looser version is the one with the emotion that moves us, then that's the one that gets picked because it's just emotion.
It was funny actually because one of the songs on the album, Little Sister, I had written ages ago and I buried it and I didn't listen to it and I didn't play it just because I'd gotten into my head that it was a crappy song. So when Stuart brought it up, I was like, no, it's a stupid song, I don't like it. And he kept pushing. He was like, well, can we at least listen to it? Can we at least try it? And I was like, no, it's a bad song. Like 6 Feet Under, I'd understand. But I haven't worked on this song in fuck knows how long. And I look at it once and I'm fucking bawling. That's not cool.
That's the definition of cool. That's the essence of cool. That is the coolest thing that happens in life.
She held you tight when you were little, although you may not recall. But she left us from a new miracle. You never looked to many people, but you looked to me, darling, darling girl. You'll be great, just wait and see. But little sister, don't you miss her? I'm sorry you can't kiss her. A baby when she knew you, she'd be proud to see what we do. I can't fill her shoes, that's the biggest bruise. Ooh, little sister, I hope you know that. Ooh, little sister, I love you so. Through and through, I'll hold you tight, sing for you with all my might, till my lungs curl up. Though I try, my dear, I can't be.
She's an amazing artist, and our life is already so very full of art, and I think she just adds on to that, and I think that's amazing because she's a great inspiration, but she also has like a dark part, and like she's deep, and we also have that. So she's like a mix of lovely happiness and also some dark stuff. And everyone in my family is like that. So she definitely fits into our family.
The good news is we really like each other if we get stuck.
Oh, look at this, snug as a bug in a
We have a
rug.
drug party in here for that stuff.
All right.
Drug party.
All the faults in California run directly through my head. All the faults in California are converging in this bed. All the faults in California will not rest until I'm dead. Break a leg, miss a leg. smiles and waits with your bouquet. Take
I bawled my eyes out upon driving into LA, probably because I hadn't slept in days, but also because I was just seeing concrete. Everything seemed really run down and grey and lonely. But then we rode into Laurel Canyon and there's this beautifully lush environment.
Look, we even listened to you.
Piano in there.
Really? Uh-huh. That's why we
Can
got
you remove
this
your
place.
glasses and show us your first initial response? Please,
No,
sincerely.
don't make her take
I'm not
her
making
glasses
fun of
off.
you. This is your honest response.
Lying. Don't make her take her glasses
But it's how you feel. There's nothing. Look at the piano. Look at the piano.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have awesome food here.
They have awesome toys here.
I'm not used to piano.
You guys,
Народная песня. Теперь повернись к маме с папой и красиво-красиво. 3, 4.
I have no idea how much happier this makes me. Fuck, I'm so tired, I keep crying. That's not cool.
It's really cool.
No, man, stop
It's
it.
really cool.
Don't feel happy, you can cry whenever you fucking want. I do.
I'm so happy that she gets to come here as a young woman. I think she's had a rough childhood, and I'm really excited for her to come here as a young woman and for us to celebrate her because she is great. And it's been really fascinating to see Stuart kind of take on a role to teach and to help a young person start their career. And I think any young musician, especially in today's world, to be quite frank, it's so hard to get to be an artist, and he really has. It's been so beautiful to watch him care about her, and for us all to care about her, and for her to be just surrounded in. We kind of consider her as part of our family, and we talk often as like there are those friends that just feel like family, and Jasmine feels like family to us. And I say to Jasmine all the time, I'm like, seriously, I could never let somebody live in my house. I don't like people in my home. I like to be out in the world, and I really need a quiet home. And it's okay that she's there. And sometimes I'm bitchy, and sometimes, whatever. But that's family, right? And she really, she rolls with us, and she does well with us.
Let's rock and roll.
It is our first day in Laurel Canyon, and it is a very, very, very special day. So there's a little bit of a problem because I can't find a coffee maker, so instead of making an album, we might die.
It's really hard to stand up. You expect it to be really easy to stand up and like the board's gonna be really balanced. It's not really. It's kind of like a big piece of like cardboard and you have to stand up on that and not fall over. And it's kind of difficult, but once you do it, it's so fun and so worth it.
First thing for me with Stuart stuff is I can tell there's going to be some kind of weirdly woven tale by looking at the titles. Because nobody has titles as weird and as shocking as Stuart for me in my world. So I'm already like, but because I know Stuart, I know I'm going to go on this ride and it's not going to be what I think it is. So it's like buying a ticket to a horror movie with it, and it might be a comedy. Nope, not. Because the kids are older now.
Well,
so
it's one of the few things I can address in remedy.
If you stop.
The right session, the right guys. The flow will open.
You guys are laughing, but this legitimately happens. There are people who like suck on male nipples for this.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I mean, I know
I had a
there's
buddy
people that suck
who
on
did.
male nipples, but do
Did
men
it- was
lactate?
it- Was he having fun with it?
Men produce milk?
Yeah. You were like,
Not
can
a
I
lot,
do this?
but
Or
they
that?
can.
Wow.
Okay, I learned something new.
Stuart's not precious about it. It's almost like it's out of his hands at that point. Like he channels it and then it comes and then we just do it and it because he sets that precedence. I think we all as musicians follow suit. We're not caught up in the of course there's the initial sort of figuring stuff out and like fumbling at first, but once we start running there's no second guessing, and then there's not a lot of tripping in that sense. And in that way, there's a lot of surrender, which I think is really important in the process of creating, because it's not ours. It always comes from something greater and higher, and and we're all capable of it, but not everybody taps into that. And Stuart's definitely tapped into that. And so, because he taps into it, he presents that as a platform for the rest of us to tap into it in our own various ways.
Study stays, pace inspires in catacombs. No labyrinth will lead us home. Next man's power, take this comfort, it's all
on under here. I've got tears rolling down my fucking shoulders.
Okay. So tell me what your biggest concerns are, what your biggest anxieties are.
They're so good.
That the musicians are so good?
Tracking with them was so good.
That's what it's going to be like for you. Yeah, that's what it's going to be like. No. Listen, you haven't done this before. That's it. You're just doing a new thing. But this is way less of a new thing than coming to America and moving across the ocean.
I just want it to be really, really good, and I want myself to do really, really good.
You already did that. That part's done.
No, I fucking haven't.
Yeah,
Stop
you have.
saying that.
Love is coming through their music to you. They're not challenging you.
I just
Everyone
don't
is
wanna
on your
hinder
side.
anybody.
Everyone there wants you to feel and have an amazing experience. Every single person in that room is assembled to support you and love you.
Talk about getting spoiled.
You're not spoiled. You work your ass off. You've worked very, very hard.
No, but this is a luxury. I think very.
It is
very
luxurious,
Yeah.
but I don't think that you lack any. Your work ethic is amazing.
But just like, you know that moment before you jump off a cliff? Like, you know, you have to take the, like, before I came to America, there was like, you were that like hour before leaving where I was like, oh my god! That's now.
Totally. That makes sense. This is art. We're just making art. We're not like deciding people's lives and fates.
really want it to go well.
It will, but it won't go well because you want it to so fiercely, and anxiety won't help.
Yeah.
Let go. Just let go. And trust.
I'm not very good at letting go though.
You let go and trusted enough to come to America.
Yeah.
That was bigger.
Bueno.
Just have fun. That's all you gotta do.
I'm gonna go blow my nose.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'm a fucking snot machine. Do you promise to help me hold it the fuck together tomorrow?
Hmm?
Do you promise to help me hold it the fuck
It's okay if you lose it. It's okay if you fall apart. Like, it's okay. Nothing will happen if you lose your shit and crumble into tears and can't function for hours. It'll be okay. You can do that if you want. And you won't lose your record deal, and we'll think nothing less of you, and neither will the band, and your record won't sound any less awesome. So if you want to fall apart, you can.
I can't believe we're really doing this.
We are doing it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, it is.
I'm really proud of you
For what?
for writing such great songs and doing everything it took to get them where they needed to be.
Thank you for believing in the songs. Wanting to work with me.
I think she's learning crazy amounts, and we're throwing all sorts of stuff at her that she's just taking like a champ, and she's just getting it done, and she doesn't trust herself. She doubts herself. She doesn't think she's worthy or whatever, but she's nailing it all.
Everyone I've ever loved was in the river and was afraid of. Alright, here it comes! Get deep in the river. Now I'm falling. And I feel a million arms around me when I get in the river. Every color of light surrounds me and I get in the river. Every thought I have dissolves here in the river.
you're cold, aren't you? Okay. You want to go back in? Okay, we're gonna get this wave and then we're gonna go in, okay? That's it. Can you stand up for me?
It's so hard to make it, I think, in just about whatever you're doing, be it business or entertainment business, anything. But sometimes it's very slippery slope. It's very easy, just, we just need to do this and that'll get us this. And you keep doing that, and it makes it easier and easier. And before long, you're
I feel completely and entirely ready.
snorting cook off of hookers or whatever.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you don't care where the money's coming from or whatever.
You're awesome.
Ow! Those are my burns!
I'd like to think that Stuart and I
For some reason, I always wind up crying in the evening.
are maybe will be better about that. Because I think for us, the money's not the only thing. We certainly would like some money out of this whole thing.
And then in the morning, I feel fabulous.
Because we could certainly use it. But I think we're not going to go for the money at the expense
Perfect day to start an album!
of Jasmine or her future. And
I'm really excited.
I think we see this. I think we would see this as more of a partnership than certainly most record labels will. I think most record labels would see their artist as a resource to be exploited and promoted to whatever end. And I think we're going to be much more interested in what Jasmine wants, her feelings and her internal development, as well as her musical development.
This is the red carpet of rock and roll. Are you aware?
At the front desk, can we now say Jasmine?
Well, that's I was going to tell her we're with Jasmine Studio B. She recognized us.
I'm Jasmine Karimova. I'm in Studio B. Get out of this car and go! Can't open the door!
Do you know what the guy said that was so funny? He goes, she's a natural. He's like, she's got the attitude. And then he looks at me, he's like, a few screws loose.
My father's been through a lot of shit. Like he's had a really tough time. Not saying that I haven't, because in all honesty, my father didn't deal with a lot of things that he should have dealt with love. And so that's a very negative spiritual path, I think. My family, for a while, we were on a very negative spiritual path because we were very much shut off from the rest of the world. It was me, my father, and my little sister, and we were trapped in like this little bubble of negativity. I don't think my father could even help it. He certainly didn't want it to be that way.
Okay, let's start from the top. 3, 4.
We know this story well, we shouldn't tell it anymore. Roaring for days in silence, building up a mist of a storm. Left, right, center, can't escape you. Looking for an exit, you're supposed to be the door. You can't help when you can't help them either. You're falling into potholes, noise is getting tight. You know why can't you see? It isn't supposed to be You seem to be a family man, except for when it comes to me. And I'm so tired, what are we supposed to do? I'm hopelessly devoted to you.
Yeah, I fucking love it.
Corresponding with Stuart, it was weird because I felt like I was on a path, you know, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, whatever you'd like to call it, that felt right to me. I feel good about where I'm going and who I am today. And trying to feel good about myself felt really weird because I had never felt good. I never felt comfortable in myself or within my family. And I think there's a lot of betrayal involved because, you know, I was under the impression, obviously this is all like not based on logic, it's all emotion, but that the only way I knew how to correspond with my family was through that sort of, through hurts and unpleasant things. And being on an individual path where you feel good, it felt like I was disconnecting from my family because I was feeling good. Especially because I was looking at the Davises, and now I'm looking at the Davises, and there's so much love there. And it's crazy to me because I can see that emerging in my family, but there was also a bit of, I'm gonna get emotional. I think the reason sometimes, fucking hell. I think sometimes the reason why I get a bit uncomfortable by all the love that is coursing through the Davises' veins is because there's a bit of me that is sort of bitter. And like it's just weird to have freshly disassociated from family through negativity, through your own family, and then be in a position where there's this family that's everything that you would have wanted from your family. So I think that's the reason that when I look at Ara and Stuart that I get weirded out, because it's so sweet and there's so much love there. And when I look at my father, I'm unable to do that. Like any conversation that I have with my father usually ends in tears if it's an honest, genuine conversation, because there's a lot of shit between us and it's hard to just get over stuff that runs deep. And I think that's what this family's an important thing. Like I think a couple of years back I was trying to avoid that thought because, you know, when you're in a position where your family and keep in mind that when I say family, I mean my father and my sister, because that's the only family that I've known. This whole music thing is going to be tough because the only way it's going to be good is if it's true and genuine and honest. And if it's true and genuine and honest, it's going to hurt like a fucker. It's also a lot to do with the fact that my association with the word family, it's not a happy one. It's one filled with love, and incredibly strong love. There's nothing, I don't think, stronger in this world than the love in my world. There's nothing stronger in my world than the love I have for the creation of art and the love I have for my family. So as you can imagine, when I think of family, there's a lot of love there, but at the same time, it's a bruised love because there's a lot of, it hurts to think about family for me.
Oh, Stuart, my mum's pendant. Can you bring that to me? It's in the fishnet bag. By your bag. Thank you. No, I just want to hold it.
Okay.
Would it make sense hanging by the neck? Off to the rattle of my last breath. Mother, tell me, did you survive the noose? Mother, tell me, is it easy to cut yourself loose? Mother, tell me, is it warmer down below? Mother, tell me, what was your last thought? Where does sickness go once the sick have died? The snap of a neck, the tip of a hat. Mother, tell me, could you survive the noose? Mother, tell me, is it easy to just cut yourself loose? Mother, tell me, is it warmer down below? Mother, tell me, why do you let go? Understand wanting to get away. Get rid of your body, get out of your head. No more in and out of sanity. No more fighting your own humanity. But mother, you've fallen too far. Mother, tell me, could you survive the noose? Is it easy to just cut yourself loose? Is it warmer down below? Mother, tell me, will I ever let you go?
I'm the kind of person that, I sort of insist upon dealing with it on my own, because that's the only way I've known it. Just being independent, doing it on my own. And not only is it weird that the Davises now want to be there for me and want me to share. That was a shocker for me. I thought it was insane. But now I'm turning it into art and further than a way to deal with it. Now it's a way to express it fully. Which is something so beautiful, I think. Because there's nothing more moving in this world, I think, than somebody unabashedly standing up and saying, this is what I feel. I don't remember who said it, but somebody, an old man, said that there's one thing in the world that can't be taught, and that's feeling. And it's because of that when one is feeling, that is when one's most honest. You're truly you in your feelings. So I think when it comes to expressing, like music, art, dance, that's the truest form of being. And that's what saves me. It's what saves everybody, I think. Which is why this is so important to me, because this is my and I didn't know it at first. It took quite a few conversations. And the funny thing is that Stuart always knew this, that sly bastard. Every time I have a conversation with him and I come to a realization, I realize that he was already there trying to get me to cross that road, which is insane. Like, he already knew that it was going to be about my family and it was going to be about all this feeling and emotion. And I just wasn't okay with it yet. But I'm getting there. Maybe I'm like reading into it too much, but this is the most important thing that's happened to me up till now, because I've never been able to stand up and say these are my feelings, this is what I've been feeling my entire life. So that's pretty cool.
Me like you used to, push my head down till I'm begging you for it. Smother me with silence. Eggshells, the carpet of my youth, taking care to tiptoe softly, treading carefully. Just one crack and I'll go flying. Just one crack will leave me tattered and torn. I hear you cleaned up your act.
When are you going to Costa Rica?
He's got to do that.
Yeah, he's going for ceremony. When people think of Stuart Davis, they think grill master. What is your secret?
Sometimes when they think of Stuart Davis, they do think open flame, but it's not usually associated with food.
Yes, the Doberman.
Have you seen a bacon dog before?
The answer's no.
Honey, I made dinner. You're gonna eat one.
In my backpack here.
Happy first album to Jasmine. Happy first album to Jasmine.
Happy first album to you and
Love you so much.
Wow.
Make giant Hollywood wishes.
On the cake!
On the cake. We love you.
All right.
Who loves Jasmine? I do.
Tracked? No, you have to sit. I'm gonna work now. Okay, you gotta sit down. Sorry, buddy. Come here. Come here. Tilla, come here. Tilla. Tilla, come. No. 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 So we came back from LA, finished the 2 albums, my album and Jazz's albums, which we recorded in tandem, and I could not possibly be more excited and confirmed and convicted that Jasmine is really she's a generational talent. Given that this is her debut album, the level of depth and significance, the interesting, mature choices that she makes as a writer and a performer, I just think give every indication that this album is going to be incredible on its own without qualification, like whether it's a debut album or somebody's 15th record. I just think her album it restores my faith and excitement about the meaning and interiority in songwriting and pop music. Whatever happens, I do not feel that there was anything deficient in our visa application. We started the process completely ignorant, but hired the right people, got educated, and did the process to the letter of the request, to the letter of the code. Where we feel, and the attorney felt, very optimistic that she will get it, like maybe me and David felt like emotionally an 80% probability that she'll get it. The whole point of this is if she gets this visa, her life and career will be radically transformed. Her opportunities for her to launch her career as a songwriter in the United States with this record, able to work, make a living, I just think that it would be profound and radical, and that it's the optimum scenario for her to begin her career and launch her... Sit down! Sit! Not cool. Sit. So we were able to remember that through the whole thing, both me and David, and that made the pragmatic utilitarian side of it very meaningful and inspiring. So that's how we pushed through. She was able to get really strong endorsements from very... Sit down, stop. Tilla! Come here. We are finding out about your visa today.
Don't fuck with me.
I swear to God.
Don't fuck with me.
I swear to God, I'm not fucking with you right now.
Oh my God, he's such an asshole.
I swear to God, I'm not fucking with you. No, I mean, David has the news, and he's bringing it with him.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does, because he was able to go online to the website and log in with our thing and get the info online from the government.
You're
website.
lying.
No, I'm being totally sincere.
We didn't get a login.
Yes, we did.
How come I don't know?
So, long story short, when David arrives, and by the way, I don't know the results.
I do.
No, she does not.
No.
No one knows. And David got the results, but I told him, don't tell me. Just don't even give me a hint.
David knows?
David knows.
David totally knows right now.
What the actual fuck?
Yeah. And certain
Oh my God.
what the results were.
That's not cool. I don't like this on camera.
What do you guys, starting with Marcy, guess whether she got it?
Don't! You're gonna knock it! 1, 2, 3! Don't answer! Don't! Please, no, don't! You're gonna knock it! 1, 2, 3! Everybody needs to knock on window. Seriously, here. Put it up. Can you knock her? 1, 2, 3. Aja. 1, 2, 3.
Aja, what do you think? Did she...
Don't! Please, no, please, no, seriously, I'm begging you though. Don't do it. Like, I'm not joking about this, I'm being dead serious.
You gotta respect your superstition.
Don't you dare answer, Aja.
That's superstitious. You got that from Kazakhstan.
You need something like that to keep you from going mad.
You got that from your Tajikistan
Oh
ancestors.
my God! I'm freaking out.
Perfect.
It's not gonna be okay.
It is.
I'm gonna have a panic attack, darling.
It is.
Wait! Hold on.
Don't worry.
Oh my God. Hear my heart.
Look, David,
Come on.
David, come
Hear my heart.
I'm gonna put pants on. I told her that you know.
I'm gonna fucking bawl.
Oh my God.
My heart's in my throat.
Oh my gosh.
Oh fuck.
So I have to admit, I'm really fucking nervous about this.
You're fucking nervous.
Sweating.
I think our
Yeah, I'm like liquid dripping down my fucking side. This is why I put deodorant. No.
You guys ready? What do you think, Jazz? Do you want to know the answer?
Can I scream?
Okay. You didn't get it.
I didn't fucking get it?
Doesn't go into details. It just happened yesterday. They're mailing us the packet. The packet is supposed to have more information and what our options are at this point.
I'm sorry, baby. And you too, because you fucking... It's just gonna look different now.
I'm sorry, Jazz.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Dandy.
Where the hell am I gonna live?
We're gonna work it out, okay?
We'll get it.
We have options. We have resources. We're not gonna let you fall through the cracks. You're not gonna end up on the fucking street somewhere. You are going to make money. You are going to release your record.
It's gonna be scary. It's okay.
See the little sister, don't you miss her? I'm sorry you can't kiss her. A baby when she knew you should be proud to see what we do. I can't fill her shoes, and that's the biggest bruise. Oh, little sister, I hope you know that Ooh, little sister, I love you so. Through and through I'll hold you tight, sing for you with all my might, till my lands curl up. And though I try, my dear, I can't be her, I fear. But little sister, don't you miss her? I'm sorry you can't kiss her. A baby, when she knew you, she'd be proud to see what we do. I can't fill her shoes, that's the biggest bruise. Ooh, little sister, I hope you know that. Ooh, little sister, I love you so. And I always will, I always will.
Sounded like ZIV. Yeah? Yeah. What'd you think? That was amazing. Both of your songs with it.
Come on, don't hide your light under a bushel. No. You've got to let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
I'm gonna poison your words.
Успокой меня глазами.
Really, Stuart?
Успокой меня душой.
Let a girl fucking enjoy herself.
И босыми встань ногами на сердечную мозоль. Боль доставь мне наслаждения, исцарапай спину мне. Не вись, как исцеление, светом будь в моем окне. Не вись, как исцеление, светом будь.
I loved reacting to the songs as well because they are so unique for both of them. They're
Yes.
not really your run-of-the-mill standard pop songs. So for me, like figuring out what the emotion was or what the song was about and then reacting to it, I'm glad for me that I didn't listen to it ahead of time and form my own opinions and got to just feel it as it was coming across.
Actually, it's funny. I think the majority of the times I've worked with Stuart has been on his own music. I haven't worked with him as a producer on somebody else's stuff that I know of, that I can remember. And what a bright and fresh, spirited artist that Jasmine has. Like her emotional maturity, the emotional maturity in her music is astonishing.
The night before we did Jasmine, I listened to all the songs while I just had a glass of wine because I didn't know anything about Jasmine yet. I knew about Stuart and we had just played all the Stuart songs, and again I got the it's like being in a dryer when you're with Stuart. It's like you get in and then you just get bounced around, and you know the titles and the emotions and the journey, and it's like loving, cuddling, and pushing away. And I was curious if Jasmine, and seeing her in the room and how she is a force of nature, that's an understatement. So I was listening to the tunes, and first of all they're beautiful and she's got a beautiful voice, but then there's some dark themes in there. But as a man who has a wife and has parents and kids, like I know what happens to a human, and you have to sing about what has happened to you in order to have a real song. So I kind of, Jasmine is like, you know, Stuart's been at it 30 years and Jasmine is like carrying the flame, so I thought they were a nice match together.
Doing it right. It's not taking you long to adjust to the American
She's going back to
palate.
Amsterdam in 3 months and she's gonna weigh 50 pounds more.
Don't say that. That's mean.
We're gonna make you American.
No. No, that's not happening.
We American, and we Ameri will.
If anything, I'm converting you into not Americans. Your daughter is already trying to mimic my accent. I'm infiltrating the Davises.
About your accent. What, Australian, English, Dutch, Russian.
It's a weird thing. My goodness, golly yay! Oh, they're
We
fluffy.
put our artists on a very stringent nutritional regimen. It's mostly cream and empty carbs and sugar.
Yummy.